Bill Chapman with another Capital Update video, and I've got today, pleased to have Scott Storms with us. Scott's a Republican rep from up in the Windsor area, and his first trip in this rodeo. He's only been with us for a few months, but where'd you go to school, Scott?
I went to the University of Hartford undergrad and then went to the University of Bridgeport. It was one of the first graduating classes out of University of Bridgeport Law School, which is now Quinnipiac, as you know. And from there I went into practice with my father and my wife in Windsor Locks. So we have a small family law firm in Windsor Locks.
Good way to do it, and good way to be able to get away with spending time up here at the Capitol. I think last night was a midnight 12:30, and sure. Here we are bright and early this morning with this video. Now, how you're involved in a small practice, and what did you do to kind of like usher in the potential for running for state rep?
Well, as a small town lawyer, we've always been sort of thought of and taught by my father to give back to our communities. So through a variety of small commissions and committee positions in Windsor Locks, worked my way up through the system. Been very, very involved with the Lions Club and at an international level, and then came back to my hometown and said, this is where I want to be. I want to practice law here. And position of as a candidate for state representative opened up, and 4 years ago we ran unsuccessfully, and then in 2016 we were successful, and here I am. November 8th, we started a whole new career.
Part of that part of that whole new crew that has brought up to what is it, 70, 71?
We have 72 Republicans, 79 Democrats in the
right.
House at this point.
So every year up here there's more and more Republicans, and we still have another year for another election, and see how the whole chamber will run at that particular point. Let's worry about getting through this year first, though. No, so you come up here and you got to take that ride into the Capitol, and that first time that you came here, you had certain expectations of what it was going to be.
Yeah, well, I think, the first time you walk into the legislative office building as a state representative, you're just in awe of everything that's going on here. It's a great building, lots of activity. And then you realize that you really have to roll up your sleeves and get some work done. I'm fortunate to serve on the Appropriations Committee and the Transportation Committee. My favorite is the Judiciary Committee. It's been a great experience. They're very active committees. And this has basically turned into a full-time job.
Now, what's been the kind of like your biggest surprise?
I think my biggest surprise is the time commitment that we have here. We were told that this was a part-time position, and that may be true for 6 months of the year, but the first 6 months has been pretty much a 12 to 13-hour day every day. Mm-hmm. So I've been really fortunate to have a great boss. Being self-employed is really good at that point. But my wife practices with me, and she's had to pick up a lot of the load at the office. Staff has been really good, and a shout out to my clients who are being very considerate of my new schedule. Okay, and would you say that that's your biggest challenge? I think time management is the biggest challenge. Dale, my wife, and I have a tendency to check our schedules every day and see what I can cover, what she's going to cover for the day. Mm-hmm. And then we're working during the weekends in between our state representative obligations and appearances, but we're working at the office every weekend to try to get ready for the next week. It is a challenge, and I'm looking forward to June 7th when we're going to get a little bit of a break here. I understand my summer vacation is going to be spent in Hartford this year.
Well, you probably have a couple of days off that week, and then, of course, you're coming to the Connecticut Legal Conference on the following Monday.
Absolutely.
And then for the rest of the week, you'll have off from here, but probably be back in here at least by the last week of June. So it's a good thing that you're not coaching baseball.
Right.
Now, for your own, certain things that we take a little pride of as legislators, that we've said, we've been able to do something. And I know you've helped out an awful lot with judiciary, but with your own stuff, is there Is there anything that you?
Well, as a freshman legislator, you get an opportunity to submit some new bill proposals, and we submitted about 11 or 12 of them. Some of them have gotten traction, such as the advocate for the MDC that passed and was signed into law by the governor. I enjoy being asked by constituents to try to help out the community a bit, and we did that. An example of that is the fracturing waste law that was passed through the House a couple of weeks ago that was originated out of Windsor. The day before I got sworn in, I went to a town council meeting, and they asked the legislative delegation to bring this to the House, and we did. And with the help of Tammy Zawistowski and David Barham, we got this bill passed through the House, and we're waiting for Senate and governor approval. So it's been great. So that part of it, the constituent service, is a major part of our job, and it's something I most enjoy because while we may not be able to help everybody, we can open doors for them to talk to people in the state where they can get some help, and it's been a great thing for me.
That's great, and what we have is just a lot of folks here. I know that have been able to affect you in some fashion, kind of like bringing you through the ropes and.
Absolutely. We were given a mentor as we came in as new freshmen into the House. Tammy Zawistowski from Suffield and East Grimby is my mentor, and she's been helping me along. The staff is excellent here at the Capitol. Hardworking state employees, making things happen behind the scenes and keeping us organized and moving through the process. So, I mean, great people here.
Now, I think it was interesting when we had talked previously, and you mentioned Tammy, and that the mentor, I know at least the Republicans have mentors. You know, I'm not sure about the House Ds, but I know that the House Rs do. And one of the things that Tammy would do is say, okay, you have to go to this on a Saturday. You've got to go to this on a Sunday. And, you know, it's a great relationship.
Well, my first challenge was how to be in 3 places at once. I had 3 committee meetings on the first day I was here, and Tammy taught me how to move through the system and be everywhere at the same time. So.
I think that now, knowing how the judiciary works with public hearings, with certain public hearings, you know that you can be in 3 places even during some of those public hearings too.
Well, my favorite committee is the judiciary, as you know. And as a small town lawyer, I thought it was very interesting to be able to participate in the nomination of Supreme Court justices here in the state. And it's given me an opportunity to understand the other side of the law and how that works. And I'm finding it extremely interesting, as well as an honor to serve the people of the 16th.
And we look forward to working with you for at least through the end of this year and then through next year. And you know, I'm sure you'll do well in the election. Well, even though it seems so far out, it's not.
Well, 2018 seems a bit far out when we're talking about the budget crisis that we have this time. But I also want to compliment you and folks like you who work here every single day, educating lawmakers as to the issues that are pressing for our bar association, for you. But there are other lobbyists out here, and they educate us because obviously we don't know the impact or the consequences of every issue that comes before us on a bill, and the lobbyists serve a very, very important function in the government process.
And we always say that you know, the role is to educate and to tell the truth. You know, if you don't tell the truth, and there's some that just don't for some reason, they get caught.
Right. Well, you only get one chance with me, Bill.
So right. Absolutely.
And the other thing I'd like to just talk about is that I really think it's important that, especially members of the Bar Association, since we're doing a CBA talk this morning, that you advocate for your profession, that you talk to your legislators, and that you write them and contact them about issues of importance. And that goes for any constituent in the 60th. If they have any concerns, you should write me, let me know, and I will try to respond. And you may not always agree with my position, but I will tell you that your voice is being heard in Hartford.
Right. And if you are contemplating, you know, Scott's not somebody who just came out of the block at his swearing in. He's been, you know, around for at least a couple of months as an attorney. And you too may have been out for a couple of years. Maybe it is something that you might want to think about. And I'm sure that Scott would, whether you're an R or a D, I'm sure that Scott would not be that adverse to talking to you about the process that he found himself in, the questions that he may have asked in terms of, is this for him? He's already told you some of the the challenges that he has, and I think it's a great opportunity. We do need more attorneys up here.
Well, we have many attorneys up here, but each of them have reached out to me, whether they're a Democrat or Republican, and told me that family comes first, then business, and pay attention to the people's business as a priority. But you have to keep everything in balance, and that's the biggest concern that I have right now.
Okay. And absolutely, you do a great job with it. Your wife will keep you honest. Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Bill.
it.
Thanks for the time.
Okay.